Welcome back, Float family and friends, to the Floating Night Live, where we articulate, disseminate, and postulate the post-float glow. My name is Dan, and I'll be your float guide for this evening. And today, we are joined by Ron and Tammie Kruse. Tonight, they floated with us, and they're going to tell us about their float, and they also have some news to share with us. So let's take a look at the couch cam, and welcome Ron and Tammie.
Hi.
Hello.
But here is the intro first. Welcome back, everybody. Now let's give Ron and Tammie a welcome, and if you have any questions for them, make sure you write it down in the comment section. We're going to try to get to all the questions that are asked. So welcome, friends.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Good to be here again. We've floated many times here and enjoyed every single time, without exception today.
Yeah, it's always good.
Anything in particular jumped out in the float this evening?
I usually have a little bit of a travel or some kind of epiphany, but today was just kind of very relaxing. Yeah. And sometimes that's all we need.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we float. We never know what's going to happen. Yeah. And that's okay.
Yeah. Today was definitely about relaxation and just letting things go.
Yeah.
And just, meditated in there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Every time, well, not every time, but this evening especially, when I was floating, like, I don't know if it was shortness of breath or anything, but like it could have just been nerves or something, but it was like just a tightness in my chest. And then that grew into me just deep breathing, and then that grew into me just being grateful to be able to breathe, and then that just grew into like me being grateful for like my family and all my love, everything I love, and even everything that I saw as an obstacle at one time and now I'm thankful for shaping me into who I am today, you know.
So then you have to think, was that actually your lung, or was it your heart speaking to you?
My heart.
Yep, it's your heart. Most definitely.
Do you have any tips on how you can get in touch with your heart, or like raise your frequency of your heart, or anything like that?
Oh, I could give you a book full.
Let's introduce ourselves. So people kind of know who we are and kind of what we do.
Ron, you're an expert at this already.
My name is Ron, and this is my wife Tammie, and we kind of run our own little center in Green Bay for right now. As far as we do Reiki, we do shamanic work, we do a lot of meditation. We help people get started in meditation. We teach them the right way. Here in America, we kind of Americanized meditation, and we look at it in a very complicated way. One of our greatest sayings is keep it simple, KIS. Many years ago, we started selling coffee at a farmer's market, and that's what I came up with for a logo was KISS, KIS, keep it simple. And we've been using that with our spirituality, with our learning as much as we can. We throw it in there all the time. Keep it simple. The more complicated you make it, the harder it is to follow. We're pretty free. We don't adhere to any rules about stuff. So when it comes to learning new things, we're very open to understanding what's coming our way. And we usually get messages and guided into the right direction. And she's very intuitive. She gets a lot of messages for people when they're with us. I myself do a lot of energy work, and I get a lot of messages for people and for myself during those. So
yeah. Well, I'm Tammie.
Hi, Tammie.
I've been doing probably healing work, dabbled it through my teenage years, went to school for school of medicine. I've done all kinds of things. I knew at the age of 6 that I could actually see angels and things like that, and I could be with them. At that time, I didn't really understand what that meant, but now I know. Now I do. Practiced Buddhism for over 25 years, and I've now kind of left that. But a big part of my life still kind of encompasses what they're about being with self and taking care of self and loving yourself and being that really good person all the way around. So that's pretty well instilled in my life, and that kind of bled over to him. He only practiced Buddhism for a couple of years, but it's been a growing experience for him for the last 24 years. We just had our wedding anniversary.
Woo! Congratulations.
So 24 years of, well, technically 25 because we were a year together before that, of learning and growing with each other. And we can even talk about that a little bit tonight, about what twin flames and soulmates really mean.
Yeah.
We are definitely twin flames, so it did not come easy.
A lot of people will tell us, we want what you guys have. It's like, you see us now. It wasn't always this way. There's been a lot of fights and struggles and growing pains and a lot of things. And that's what it takes for couples to stay together, families to stay together, even for yourself. There's a lot of self-awareness that you have to come up with, and there's a lot of self-work. It's not, I don't fix anybody. I can't fix anybody else. I can only fix myself. I can help guide people to that point. But they have to still do the work. Yeah. And that's one of the things that we're trying to teach people now. We're more into teaching new ways of looking at the world versus healing people, because I can do it. I can do it over the air, and we might even do a little bit of a,
we'll do a little bit
healing
of
session
tonight.
here while we're sitting here on air. But mostly right now it's teaching people how they can heal themselves. Yeah. Through meditation, through awareness of their own body. I think that's where we're pretty much at right now. We do more of that than anything right now. Yeah. She also does card readings.
I do Oracle Tarot card readings. Somebody just asked me today. I told her, I said, at first I had beginning to figure out what deck I wanted to bring, and she goes, why, how many decks do you have? I said, I don't know, 24, 25 decks. Wow. But they all resonate differently, you know? And they're going to, because they are messages from spirit, and we can definitely get them through tarot cards, you know, if we're open to that. So,
but that's what they're supposed to be used for, is for messages, not for fixing our life or telling us how to live or telling us we're going to be married in 6 months or anything like that. There's a lot of tools out there, and we try to teach people what those tools are, like going to a psychic or getting card readings or any of the tools, crystals and modalities. Anything out there can be used as a tool. Yeah. Just watching TV can be used as a tool. Reading a book can be a tool. We get messages all the time. We just don't recognize them because we're not taught how. Yeah. You know, we're taught to just go through life with blindfolds on, and now masks. Can't see any of us. But so we try to teach people how to become aware of their surroundings and to ask their guides for their own direction. I think that's when you start being able to do that. You know, some of these places can charge you an astronomical amount, and you're no better off than when you went in, because when you come out, you're still with yourself. Yeah, exactly. So you have to learn how to live with yourself, and you have to learn how to be aware of what's going on with you and what you want to change, and then be able to change it. And that's where the tools come in. Those are the tools and how to make the changes. They don't make the changes for you. Yeah. So it's a lot, and we're constantly learning. There is no we know it all. There is no absolutes. I've had people say, well, last month you said this, and that's true. That's very true. Sometimes we do change, and that's because we've learned something new. We learn from our students sometimes. We learn what we need to learn for a certain period of time, and then when it's time to learn the next thing, science does it all the time. At one point, we all thought that the Earth was the center of the universe. Yeah. You know, so science does it all the time. They prove something and said, well, this is scientific proof. And then a year later, well, now we have new scientific proof. and that one doesn't count anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same thing with spirituality. Today's truth may not be tomorrow's truth,
Wow.
and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's growing. That's
Everything's
how you
in
grow.
motion. Everything is changing.
You don't go into kindergarten and get a diploma out of high school
For a doctor,
in a
right?
day, right? You have to go through many years of learning.
There are no Doogie Howsers.
At one
you
point,
know what
we all
that
learned
is.
that 2 plus 2 is 4, and now 2 plus 2 could equal just about anything with their new math. So,
Yeah.
you know, we're always learning.
Thank you, Jessica.
So,
So,
any questions yet?
hold on one second.
Yes.
I want to just let everybody know that I am now here, part of the show, behind the producer's deck. So it's actually Daniel, myself, Tammie, and Ron. And this is just a new setup that we have. And
Everything's
Daniel
changing.
had a chance to read off my new DIY teleprompter today. And
Man's a genius.
no, it was a DIY teleprompter. So now we can actually stream with all four of us. So, but we'll still cut around. But seriously, guys, you know how the show works. This is how it works. If you leave a comment in the stream, we actually see it live. Our guests will see it. We will see it. And we'll be able to talk to you. We want to make this engaging. And seriously,
Bring on the questions.
bring on the questions. We have an event coming up called Expanding
Your
um,
awareness.
Your Awareness, and it's on August 18th at 6 p.m. And today is kind of the primer for that event. We're going to talk about it. We're going to learn a little bit, and we're actually going to do a live, or I'm pretty sure, I'm going to try to convince them to do a kind of a live remote sending of energies, which I am not qualified to talk about, but they are. So that's what this is going to be about. So if you have anything to say, honestly, the first person to say something, go. All right.
I think we start with can you define, like in your terms, shamanism first of all? Like, what is shamanism?
Shamanism, well, there's a lot that goes with shamanism. A lot of it is cultural.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can experience different types of shamanism healing around the world.
Mm-hmm.
They are spiritual healers, in a sense. So some are actually shaman medicine people. So there are actually different titles, different levels, basically. I would say. And your shaman medicine person, you would go to them for healing, but that particular one would get you the herbs or the foods and everything that you need to help you heal, things like that. And then you have which is many across the world, is the people who practice shamanism. We help you do journeys to go back into certain aspects of your life that you're trying to heal or trying to bring forth and put that in a place where it isn't such a shock to your body anymore. There's drumming circles, very, very healing, usually conducted by many shamans at one time. And the shamanism, we can all kind of do it, just on different levels.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we're joined by Megan.
Hey,
Megan!
Yeah, well, here it looks pink, but it's red.
Hi,
And
Ted.
Scott, we are very excited to have you on Thursday,
Yeah.
or on Tuesday, the 18th. We also have another
Hey,
guest
Kathy.
who's going to be coming. That Megan actually just had performed a massage, some energy healing, and then she signed up for the class. Of course, myself, Jan, Jesse, Megan, we'll all be there. And it's going to be just a great thing. It's the first time we're ever going to do a class like this. We're very, very excited.
Yeah, it's our first class ever.
Our first class ever.
So thank you, Trailblazers.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm very excited.
There's someone on the page here. Her name is Kathy Spalding,
do,
and she took our awareness class when we had a couple months ago. But hers came with Shaman Journey, so which is a little bit more deeper than what one we're coming up with.
Yeah.
So it's she could put little quotes in there about how she felt about that journey.
There's a
but-
huge
But shamanism, you can bring in so much different things, drumming,
There's a huge
bells,
history
and-
to shamanism.
Yeah.
The old shamans were picked out as the old shaman was getting older. He'd always look for a replacement that he can start to teach, and it was always whoever was the one who was seeing things or was different than the rest of the people, because they had the ability. So they would train them for a lifetime
Wow.
for them to take over when they were when they would pass. Today's shamans in this country, I wouldn't say we're true shamans, because we kind of go on the fast track and you could become a shaman in 6 months, you know, and you can still do journeys. We still know how to help people. We still know how to do things, but to be a true shaman who would do something like that, that's a lifetime of training and expertise. It is, unfortunately, right now, though, a lot of stuff is becoming old energy modalities. There's new energy coming into the world. There's the fifth. We're going into the fifth dimension, and with that fifth dimension, all those old modalities are not
they're shifting.
Coming with. They're shifting. The energies are shifting in the universe. Things go much quicker. It used to take me an hour to do a Reiki session on someone. I can basically do the same work, only stronger, in about 15 minutes.
Hey, Carol.
So the energies are shifting, and all we have to do is keep up with them. We don't have to understand why it's doing that. We don't have to do any of that. We just have to keep up, and we have to be able to let go of the past. And that is one of the hardest things for humans to do, is to let go of the past and to embrace the now.
Yeah.
Well, if we think about it, if we would practice any type of religions that were around thousands of years ago, say 6,000 years ago, when Christianity was really coming forth, all of the chaos and everything that came with that. Now, would we practice Christianity the same today? No. So it's always shifting and changing. You know, religions around the world change and shift, and it's okay to do that with that. You know.
Yeah,
it's for
weird.
our growth.
It's weird. People are always like, "You changed," and that's a bad thing, you know.
Yeah.
But
we're changing all the time. Every day we're learning more and more about ourselves. Even to this day. Yesterday I went through a whole bunch of crap. Sorry about that. We went through a whole bunch of stuff. I went through a whole bunch of stuff, and then this morning, and this is how fast the energies are going. Usually it would take a couple of weeks for me to work through that, but it happens overnight now.
Wow.
So if I realize I have a problem today, by tomorrow I have my answer. And that's how fast things are going now. You just have to be open to it and be aware that there is a problem, and then be willing to face it and understand it, and the answers come to you.
So is everything accelerating because we're leaving a dimension of time and entering just like
it's not really
everything?
A time, it's just dimensional energies.
Third dimension energy is very
dense,
heavy,
very
very
heavy.
dense. So it's very hard. Even as we come here as spirit, we're dragged down to earth level. When we go into the fifth dimension, we'll all be much lighter. Our energies will remember what we did on our last lifetime to this lifetime. Now we can't do that because the energies are so dense.
But the children that are being born, matter of fact, probably about the last 8 years or so, those children are being born with a lighter aspect about them. You can practically go up to almost any 5 or 6 year old and ask them about meditation. Oh yeah, I know how to do that, but nobody's ever taught them.
Wow.
Yeah.
They just know it.
So
they're being born now with that more of that dimensional energies. So it's going to make it different for them.
See you next week, Megan.
Have fun, Megan.
Hello, Carol.
Stay safe, Megan.
Wait. Megan.
Don't run. Walk.
Megan. Where are you? Did you
Where
make
in
it
the
to the
world is
big lake?
Megan?
Let's appreciate the big lake. Because it's big.
It's big.
And it's a lake. It's a big lake.
Under the Silver Lake?
Oh. Don't get me started on that one, brother.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear new hope for the future now.
Oh yeah, most definitely. It's all there. The hope is there. We just have to be open to it, and we got to be aware of looking at it. It does appear every day.
Yeah.
You know.
Right now,
get our heads out of whatever the media is doing.
Yep.
And just look outside and like, wow, look at that.
One thing everybody should kind of understand going along with that is that whenever we want to change something in our life, first we have to have that thing that we want to change come up to our awareness.
Yeah.
And then we have to decide whether we want to fix it or not. And when we do, we have that opportunity then. And the world is doing that, but on a much larger scale. All the lies and the deceit and the liars and the people that have been cheating us forever are starting to bubble up to the surface, and that's what all this chaos is about. It has to come to the surface so that we can forgive it, let it go, change it. It doesn't need to be here forever. It's going to come up, and all the garbage that's ever existed is going to come up, and it has to be changed, turned into love. That's the only thing that's going to win this war is love. Anger, I told you earlier, anger does not defeat anger. Hatred does not defeat hatred. None of those will defeat. The only thing that defeats everything is love. And that will defeat any other feeling, any other fears. It's the only thing that works.
And the best way to start with that is you have to love yourself first. You really got to tap into that, and you really got to love yourself. If you're not, sometimes I shouldn't say that, if you're not willing to do that, then your suffering's going to stay, and things cannot change. You have to change things in order to change things. So by loving yourself, starting with that first, you will automatically just open up the rest of the world. Because your love, you'll extend it to your partner, you'll extend it to your children, you'll extend it to your parents, your brothers. There's an old philosophy that whenever you heal yourself, you heal 7 generations forward and 7 generations back.
Wow.
So that sounds like a lot, but in the world of the cosmos, it's very, very tiny. But that is so important for us to heal ourselves. We have to be the first and foremost.
This is a lot that has to do with the class that's coming up. We're going to be discussing the awareness and then the steps to change what you don't want, change your life, change yourself. There's a process to it, and the first one is awareness, and we're going to be teaching all that at this class on next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, everybody.
Next Tuesday. Yay.
So these are other definitions I would like a description of, like twin flame and also awareness. Like, what is awareness?
Isn't that funny?
You take twin flames, I'll take awareness.
Twin flame. Twin flame soulmates. And I remember thinking when I was a teenager, I just want to find my soulmate. And you can, but your soulmate, a soulmate, does not necessarily stay with you through a lifetime. Matter of fact, you can meet several of them through your lifetime. And the one thing that's unique about soulmates is they will test you every day on every aspect.
Careful what you wish for.
That's right.
Exactly.
Careful. But it is relationships that can work, but you got to be very, very open to allowing your partner or friend, some people are friends as soulmates, to do their healing in life, to do their spirituality, and allow them to be able to do that without you judging what they're doing. And then that has to go in reverse for them. So being connected with a soulmate can be a lot of work. Twin flames are generally, you have been together in other lifetimes, and you've made agreements or contracts, whatever you want to call it. Everybody kind of has a different terminology on that to come back at certain times to achieve certain experiences, and you may even change out roles. We've been told by many psychic that we're twin flames, and we both know we have traveled through many different lives, and we've actually changed genders at certain ones. But most of the time, he has been the one that always guarded me. But I was the healer, so he was always my protector, which is funny because he has actually brought that forward in this lifetime, because he kind of carries that facade of always trying to fix things, fixing women or trying to solve their problems, and so that's what twin flames just have a certain facade. Now, twin flames can also be not a long-term relationship, because they will also test each other. Definitely on the spiritual level, and but it's a little different with twin flames because you actually make an agreement of how far you're going to go with that.
Yeah.
We always
So-
try to romanticize everything
Yeah.
as humans, that you'll meet your twin flame and your life is going to be beautiful and you're going to have this loving, caring person. And you will. They're there
Yep.
for that person. But sometimes they're there for a very short period of time and they're there to push you over the edge, to push you to improve your life.
Wow.
So they're not always what we think they are.
Yeah.
You will meet them. I think everybody meets them at some point or another. They may not know it. And if they're looking for this, your twin flame, you could be 5'9", redhead, beautiful, everything else, and your twin flame might be a 5'2", dorky-looking guy, but he's your twin flame, and you
But
don't
he's
even
scrappy.
look at him. You don't even look at him because he's not what you
'Cause he's not-
have in your
he's not
mind, or
coming
what
into
you
that
want
visual.
your twin flame to look like.
Yeah.
It's like reading one of them romance
Yeah.
novels. He's going to be a strapping buccaneer.
50
and all
Shades,
this other
does that
stuff,
bring up things?
So, we always have to be aware of that kind of stuff, where we actually romanticize things a little too much, where you could be missing out on the perfect partner just because they have a little tweak that you don't agree with, or like the way they look, or they're not tall enough or short enough, or don't have the right body, whatever it is. So we got to be careful.
Yeah. Well, the
Yeah.
funny thing with that, though, is if you're really in touch with your spirituality about who you are and where you're at, you won't notice that he's 5'2".
Yeah.
You won't notice that because you're looking at his soul self,
Mm-hmm.
and he's looking at you as your soul self. You don't even see the outside. And it's always interesting because every once in a while, I know we all do, all of a sudden you see this couple and it's like, wow, they just don't seem like they should be a couple, because we have that judgment of what we should look like, So it's interesting,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, twin flames and soulmates, I mean, a cat, a dog could actually be a soulmate to you,
Wow.
so that's interesting.
Yeah, soulmate. It's not really anything like
Right.
marriage or
Right.
anything.
No.
It's
And
just
animals-
like a mate.
Animals incarnate over and over. They don't have the type of spirit to be human, but they can incarnate as other animals.
Wow.
And you will come in contact with that particular soulmate over and over and over.
Wow.
So a person can have a dog and the dog passes and then decide to get a cat. And then they notice there's a certain personality there that reminds them of the dog. Well, that's because that soul.
And the only way animals can do that is if they're contacted with humans who are in their spirituality.
Yeah, domestic animals are way different than wild animals.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
as far as soulmates, everyone in this room,
could be all
Jonathan and
soulmates.
yourself, are our soulmates.
Yeah.
That's why we're together. That's why we're going through this time together, is because it was planned.
Yeah.
We're here for a reason. We're here to raise the awareness and
The vibrations.
vibration of everybody around us. And you're here to help us. We're here to help you. And if the whole world could do that, unbelievable things could happen in this world.
Yeah.
If we just stopped hating each other and stopped trying to cheat each other and just cared about each other. Walk down the street, you see somebody in trouble that drops something, pick it up for them, help them. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
It's not about all this other garbage that's going on right now. It's about caring about each other.
Yeah.
And once we learn how to do that, we're unstoppable. So now
We need to
going on
care. Just
awareness. Awareness is what we're going to be teaching about, and awareness is there's many aspects to it. One is becoming aware of yourself, becoming aware of your quirks, your things that you don't like about yourself, becoming aware of what the triggers
Environmental
are
things,
that
everything.
make you feel, become aware of your own feelings, your own emotions. So we're going to teach you how to become aware of those and what to watch for, what triggers to watch for, and how to change that. It's a very simple process. Like we said, keep it simple.
Yep.
But it's also a very long, drawn-out process. Getting shorter now because of the energy waves right now. But when you first start, it seems like it takes forever, but it's actually going faster and faster. So when you become aware something needs to be changed, and you decide to change it, it won't take long.
Wow.
So it's going quicker, and it's really, really. It's probably the biggest thing that we teach right now is awareness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
yeah,
what,
Scott, I see what you're saying there.
Scott.
Yeah, he put up a question or a comment. He had 2 long relationships, and you feel they were soulmates. And yeah, I'm kind of getting they were. Just kind of the energies I'm getting that's coming through. And when you do come in contact with your soulmates, and when you do spend that time together, you will always have that strong love for them. And it definitely is on a different level than, I was married to this guy for 15 years and now I can't stand him kind of love thing. It's a love-hate relationship.
Oh, no.
But soulmates, even if you end in a disagreement or a parting, you still, for some reason, they have a part of you. They have that aspect of you, and that never leaves.
Yep.
And if they're honest with themselves, it's back at them, But you just can't be in a relationship together because it doesn't work.
Yeah.
You're not meant to be. It's not something that you needed in this world.
Mm-hmm.
So they come into your life, and your life changes, and then you carry that with you. You love them before you even met them.
Wow.
That love is from the divine. That love is not breakable. So
this is some poetry right here.
Yeah, there really is. It's a love that can't be broken by anyone.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that you have when you come to this world, and you've already loved that person long before you ever met them. And anybody ever walked down the street and seen someone and just go, oh my God, I know that person. I love that person. It's just instant, that what do they call that? Love at first sight.
Yep.
That is true. That doesn't mean that you're going to end up in a relationship with that person. You may not even meet them, but you just know that there's a connection with that person. And that's what it's all about, is that we're all connected in some way, some shape or form. We're all connected.
We're in the matrix.
Too many of us have forgotten it and don't look for it. And Scott, yes, you haven't 20 years ago, and you still have strong love towards them, and you always will. And that's great. That's fantastic that you can admit that and be aware.
Yeah.
This is one of those awareness things where you can be aware of that. And
you can carry that love into another relationship because you know what that feels like.
Yeah.
So you can carry that with you everywhere, and it's such a deep gratitude that
kind of shows you that twin flames and soulmates are not necessarily meant to spend their entire life here together. We spend eternity together.
Yeah.
When we're not here on this planet, we're up someplace where time does not exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And that love is constant. It's always there. That's why it's always here when we're here.
Yeah.
There are certain people that you just absolutely love, and you'll never ever understand why. They may not even be in your life. They may be a family member, a friend that you once knew. But every time you see them, you just have that feeling, or think about them, you have that same feeling. And that's part of that soul family thing. But they're not necessarily meant to be in your life forever.
Yeah.
They could be in your life for a day, 10 years, 20 years, and then they're gone. They could pass away. They could, you could part ways. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. What you needed to work on with that person is done. And they need to move on and work on something else, and you need to move on and work on something else. So we shouldn't ever think of a breakup as being a bad thing.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's a growing experience.
It gives us a chance to expand our lives, our souls, our experience here on Earth.
So I kind of do have a question for the event that's coming up. In like part of the sole purpose of what we're trying to achieve, I think is extremely important, especially in today's world. 2020 has been rough for a lot of folks, and I think that people really do need something.
Yep.
And what is that kind of a primer that to say, hey, here's a calling, come out to this and come with us, come help.
Learn to be aware
First step.
of life around you. Come be aware of yourself, be aware of your feelings, be aware of your emotions, be aware, and then learn what to do with that awareness once you have it. Because once you start doing this, you won't be able to stop, even if you want to. You will find this awareness thing just happens. All of a sudden, you'll be walking down the street and just doing, hits you in the forehead and says, "You got to work on this."
So the class can actually, this event that we have, we call it a class event, a group
workshop.
Yeah. It's kind of like there's actual practical application that you're going to leave from this, and you're going to be able to continue what you've learned.
Yes.
throughout the rest of 2020, but hopefully for the rest of your life.
I'll guarantee you will do it for the rest of your life.
Wow.
And it will help. It will help you kind of achieve a
That
greater sense of
self.
self.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peace
I see
within
it.
yourself.
Like I said, I'm not qualified to talk about this.
No, you're
That's
good.
right. You're doing great.
But that's why I'm coming. That's why I'm going to go so that I can learn and hopefully get some, and of course, Daniel, you're welcome to come
Yeah,
too.
yeah. It's definitely aha moments.
Yeah.
I think, well, you obviously are going to come because you'll be here. But yeah, so it's going to be a good time. I'm super excited about it. And I know that everyone else that's attending. But there is actually a link in the chat. There's this new feature on Facebook that allows me to link a link to the actual event date. This is probably the best way to go about joining the class. It's just like booking a float. You just click the event, and we're taking a limited amount of people. And I think it says we can take up to 30, but for some reason, because I've already made the event, it won't let me change that. We're going to close the event when it hits about 10 to 15 people.
Yeah, because we need it because it's better to have a smaller group because then everybody has a better experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we want to be able to make sure that you guys have
Right.
that one-on-one time with anyone who needs it.
Right. And we're going to be doing the classes again, so it's not like this is going to be the only time.
Yeah.
And the unique thing about the awareness class, we kind of work with direction from spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So you could actually take the class every single time, and you're going to get a different experience. We have the same practicalities, but you still have different experiences. So it's
Yeah.
kind of unique. It's fun.
I don't know about you, Daniel, but I'm excited.
Scott's looking forward.
Are we going
to
to do
it.
some Daniel, that's
Oh,
good.
and Megan also said Mike says hi. What up, Mike?
Yeah,
What's up, Mike?
Hey, Mike.
Mike is
Haven't met you
a
yet, but
champ
hi.
at escape
guy.
room, let me tell you.
He's a genius.
He's a genius.
Should be a detective.
Detective Mike. What's up, Mike, Megan? Have a good time at the big lake. So yeah, if anybody wants to join, hit that link. Go sign up. The event is a cost of $35, but you don't have to pay for it until you arrive, just like a normal float. So if you got an account with us, just log in, click book, and there you go. That will reserve your spot.
And on top of that, we're always, when we teach a class, we are always available. You can contact us anytime after that for free with an email or a text. If you have questions, if you get stuck, we don't want to leave anybody wondering what they should do next. That's not what we're about. We're not about the money. We're about helping people to awaken and to find their spirituality and find themselves.
I think that it's a great value in the fact that you're offering that opportunity to follow up with anyone who needs it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I'll speak personally because Tammie and Ron,
yeah.
they've been guests of Floatlight for the longest time, and they've come and performed events here at Floatlight for absolutely free. And I know that they'll do it again. This one is very specific and particular, and there's a lot that's going into it. So really, that's just helping to cover those costs. And Floatlight is providing 100% of the proceeds to Tammie and Ron through our platform. So just know that when it comes to actually supporting them, that $35 goes directly to them and what they're trying to accomplish and achieve. And we're happy to be able to do that for them and have a venue here at Floatlight, this beautiful space, being able to use that to help them as have a platform for that event in that day. So it's going to be amazing. And
yeah, invest in yourself
excited.
and your community, because the more of us that are doing this and sharing this, the brighter our future and communities and eventually world will be. Like, every time you learn something, you're adding that to yourself, and that will carry on throughout whoever you meet and come in contact with, and that's how we ripple into a better reality, you know?
Well, you just carry the aura with you.
Yeah.
You don't even have to talk to anybody.
Each life that we touch touches many other lives throughout their lives. So every time we help someone find themselves, to love themselves, that just spreads out. So it doesn't make any difference if there's one person here or if there's 15. We're going to do the class the same way.
Yep.
We always have, we always will. because that's what it's about, is trying to help people, especially in this crazy time.
Yeah.
To help them be more comfortable with it, to be more at ease with life, and to get rid of the fear.
Mm-hmm.
Fear is outrageous right now.
Yes, and most certainly is. And I see it, and we see it for sure. You know, a lot of folks coming here, and I think that the floats, the massages, and just the environment being here helps. But this is going to elevate that one huge leap forward. If anyone's out there right now just struggling with the countless bombardment of events that continue to swarm our everyday lives that we can't avoid, come experience this. I'll tell you one thing that Tammie and Ron taught me personally that really was a wake-up call was the concept of living in fear. Because it was true. I was living in fear. And it wasn't that I was living in fear prior to the recent events with the world changing everything with business. It was that when that occurred, that's when the fear started. And I think that was true with all businesses and all people. But then after some time went by, it was like, I think the fear became a worse effect on my personal health and the health of many others that I can observe and see than any potential solution there was to the actual issue at hand. And I think that learning to overcome that, and also just existing with those same kind of things, whatever your belief system is, whatever your ideal environment and circumstance, you're just going to help improve that. And I'm very grateful that you guys came and were able to kind of give me that gift, because man,
Yeah.
I felt physical pain. Like, that's how bad it was.
Yeah, stress kills for real.
It does. It's like, man, I need to float. Daniel got to float.
Well, but the day we had that conversation with you, I remember that day because you actually had a gray tint of your skin. Your life was like, oh, just really dragging. And Ron and I were like, uh-oh, John's in trouble. We need to talk to him. You know.
Do you think I'm doing better now?
Oh yeah.
Much better.
Healthy.
Much better.
Way.
Yes, you look way healthier. The energy when we walk in here, we're both very sensitive to energy, and there were times we would walk in here and the energy was really, really down and low and depressing. We always do our best to lift that up when we come here, because we know that it is stressful right now, and that's the only reason.
You guys are
stress
just
is
so
like
generous.
the #1 killer. You know, you think COVID killed a lot of people. Stress kills people.
Oh, that's
a lot
my
faster.
point. I agree.
It causes more disease.
Yeah.
It causes all of our problems. We can get rid of all of that stuff inside of us if we just get rid of the stress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
that's
stress
what the
is brought
awareness
on
class,
because of fear.
And that's
Right.
what the awareness class is going to teach you how to do.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it is true. You guys are just so generous with every time you come. You know, I think that you know, I don't use any of the known terms for this because some people call it Reiki or energy. You guys are just like, you're master, like, crafters or master movers of energy. That's what I think of it.
Well, that's basically what Reiki is.
You're like
We know how we went through the classes, like Scott did too. We went through the classes to learn how to do that. How do you? Because everybody can do energy. I mean, but the thing is, do you know how to do it? Do you know how to make it work?
Yeah.
And by the knowing, we all do know, but because we're humans, we don't know. So we attend the classes, we attend the seminars, like, okay, that's how that works.
Yeah.
So we're, you know, and now with the energies becoming stronger, we can do it faster.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
And maybe other people have done this, or you can say that I'm insane. Because
Okay.
either is valid. Well, I was in a deep meditation, and when I was younger, I actually, this is gonna make me sound like a super nerd, but I watched this show called Dragon Ball Z, and it's like all about
show.
energy, right? And so I actually, during this meditation, I was thinking about the chi ball, and I was doing it.
You're awakening, John.
Now, I'll tell you, I don't know if it was all psychological or if it was in my head, but I I was doing this, and I could not, under any circumstances, put my hands together. I just couldn't. I tried. I thought about it, and it was there. I could feel it. Now, is that am I qualified to feel that?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Everybody is.
Everybody on the
As a
planet
matter of fact,
can do
that's
that.
one of the first things we teach people.
Yeah.
I actually thought I thought maybe
I've
I was
taught
like,
it-
man,
yeah.
this is just crap. It didn't happen, but maybe it did. You know.
It happened.
We helped our grandchildren, kind of do it, and it was so funny the day we did it, because then I made the ball and then I had it going, because you could actually, if you do it now, you can actually bring your hands together and you can actually move it. I do it instantaneously now and move it around, and then I can actually give it to you and you'll feel it. You want me to give it to you?
No.
I'll take it.
John will
I'll
take
toss it to you.
It's so weird. It's so weird, you guys. You got it. It's
Yeah.
I'm in the way that my mind works too. I'm always trying to find reasons for things, and
Well, that's your analytical mathematicals.
and you know what? The other thing I appreciate about you guys is that you don't you talk to me about it, but you don't criticize me
absolutely
about
not.
coming from that perspective, because you're like, well, if part of it is that you're going to come from that perspective, but let me show you how to do it with that same perspective.
Yeah.
And that's why I particularly like your perspective, Ron, because I think that when I remember talking to you, and Tammie was telling me too, like you had that same perspective for a long time, the analytical kind of perspective. And
Yeah, and that's
like
him being in the machining world for
yeah.
40 plus years, so everything is
Everything had
mathematical and
to
dimensional.
go in a straight line. Everything had to be lined up perfect and be in this shape and everything else. And yeah, so it was very difficult for me when I first started doing this. But I, like you, started out by watching YouTube videos and starting to make chi ball, and I could do it long before I ever.
Oh, you
went to a
guys
class.
showed me that one. I didn't watch any YouTube videos.
Yeah,
on
well,
that.
that's
Yeah.
where I learned it from, was
Oh, okay,
watching
okay.
watching YouTube, and they said just put your hands together and make. And I did it the very first time, and that's when I realized that I can manipulate energy, and everybody can. It's just and Reiki
Be open to it.
is kind of a becoming an older modality, because the energies that we use now are different. They're stronger. They
Actually, are
come
more
from
precise
within
even.
us versus coming from outside of us.
Hmm.
So it's always on. Before, I used to have to spend a few minutes to go into meditation and call it up. Now it's just on. I can just touch somebody and it's already there working.
Wow.
When somebody asks me for it, it's already begun. And that's the wonderful thing about this energy work, is that if you ask me, hey, can you do some energy work on me? It's already started the minute you ask that. I may not do it for a week, but it's already started to come,
Mhm.
Yeah.
because you are open to it. You opened yourself to it. You opened yourself to that energy during your meditation, Jonathan, and it came. It was there. It was waiting for you. And that's what a lot of times it is. If everybody on this planet did Reiki, it'd be a beautiful world,
place.
because we'd all be playing with energy with each other instead of trying to hurt each other or not like someone because of the color of their skin or where part of the world they were from or how big they are or how little they are. It wouldn't make any difference. I don't see people, I've never have seen people in that way. I've always seen people as just people. It didn't make any difference where they came from, what color they were, what race they were. It just never mattered. And I had a hard time understanding why anybody would hate anybody else. And I think that's because this is maybe either my last time here, or I've been here many, many times. I'm not sure yet what the answer to that one is, but I just don't have that same. It's hard for me to fit into this world because I don't understand it.
I don't fit in.
No.
Yeah.
And it's okay not to.
Yeah.
It's very, very okay not to.
I guess
right
I've
now.
never asked, but like I always overhear conversations about old souls and new souls.
Mhm.
We're old souls.
What am I? Can you just tell me? I have a suspicion that
You're kind of like, I think you're kind of like in the middle. You're still learning.
Yeah.
You're a middle-aged soul man.
Yeah,
I'm not a
middle-aged.
child.
Yeah.
I thought I was a child soul. I just
No, I don't think so.
No?
I think that if it wasn't for, if you weren't doing this, then maybe you could be a young soul. But you're doing this, and you're bringing a lot of joy to people,
I
and
see.
you love doing it. You
Yeah.
love people feeling good.
You just didn't realize you were
Oh,
at
they
that
just
level.
didn't realize
John.
Yeah.
What?
He just had an aha moment.
They knew about your childhood. What's it called? manifesto, I guess.
Nobody knows about that.
You just said it. Did you not hear it?
What?
You like having people feel good.
Oh.
And that's kind of your goal
friends.
here, is to and the first time we met you, you were, very business-like, and it almost felt phony to me. You've become very, very real. It was, the whole bowing and all that other stuff was kind of, it didn't fit you at the time.
Oh.
It does now. It's way different than it was.
I still do that.
You still do it, but
Right.
it's different.
But it's different.
It's more real.
It's right.
You're-
And that's with anything, any kind of
Right.
spiritual work or energy work. In the beginning, it feels awkward and it doesn't feel real and it feels phony. But the more you do it, it's like, oh, I am
But
in
you've
tune with
opened
this.
up so much since
Yeah.
we've met you.
Yeah.
It's incredible how much you've changed. Since
Can't remember the
I would say
first
this
time you
year.
guys came because I forgot your towel.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, that's
No,
right.
I promise you guys out there, if you ever
Never.
come float, that's never gonna happen.
It might.
This is the only time I've ever forgotten a towel in the suite was with Ron.
First meeting.
No, it's not it's not only the only time since ever. Like ever.
Do you know why
Meant to
that
be.
is?
I don't know.
Because you were meant to remember me.
Yeah.
Probably and
In
you
our first meeting, you were
I was
meant to remember
terrified that you were going to be so angry, but you were just so chill, and it was like, man, you were so nice, and really, because that was New Year's Eve.
Whoa.
Yes, it was.
It was, and it was just like, and Jesse and I at the float center, and we were all just kind of. Jesse and I were like,
Yep, they're
We lo-
apologizing left and right. And
yeah, well, Jesse and I we take holidays together because it's actually time for Jesse and I to bond.
Yeah.
So like a lot of people are like, man, you guys got to work on holidays, and it's like, no, this is the time I get to spend with my wife. I love it. Like, and there's a symbiotic thing when Jesse and I are just here at the center. It's like, it's great. It's amazing. And that was like one of those days, and I remember meeting you guys, and I'm just like, I know that they'll be back, and you've been back like 30 times or more. So
or more, who knows?
yeah.
Who even keeps count anymore?
But yeah, I mean, it's cool, and thank you. Every time I tell, even Scott Bayman now, he knows because Scott's one of our float family. He'll be supercharging the tank with his energy work, and you guys do the same. And we have a few other guests that mention it, and it's like, that's awesome. Like, thank you for sharing, because it's so great to be able to have that, and I know it. I think other people know it. Daniel knows it. The energy here at Float Light just would not be the same without you guys. It's not us that brings the energy. The energy is lifted because of the people that come here, the amazing
Most
people.
definitely.
Yeah.
And I know that there are people that come here that probably have a dark shadow overhanging them.
They won't have it long.
But it might, and maybe they leave it here, but I think that we're here.
They don't leave it here. It's
No?
not allowed to even come through the door.
Oh, okay. Well, then.
That's part of the protection we put on.
Well, thank you. It's great because it's like, I think that, and that's probably true because when a lot of people come here, they're not in a bad mood. They leave. They're like, they could have. I've had guests who are like, man, it was just terrible getting here. It was the worst experience. And then all of a sudden, boom, it's like gone. Just don't worry about it. Just let's just have a good time. And
well, that's the wonderful thing about the energy work is that you can put protection around things. You can put good energy around. We've put it over this building many, many times. Almost every time we come in here, like Scott does, we charge the water, we charge the place.
We charge the rooms, the walls.
And it's just sharing our
The
energy.
chairs.
And it's not something that's spectacular. It's something that we can do. And it's like you're good at running a float light. We're good at sharing energy. And we love to do it. I've done more free ones than I've gotten paid for in my life since I've been doing this, and I'm fine with that. I don't have a problem with that. I love sharing the energy. I love to watch people change. I've had skeptics do energy work with me, and they get up and they said nothing happened as they run into the wall because they don't know where they're at. They're kind of like in a daze, and
I didn't get
nothing happened.
good.
So every time we do energy work and someone says something that, hey, that was really cool, I really felt that, that's a boost to my confidence, not my ego, my confidence.
Well, it's interesting too. And I don't even think, Daniel, you probably didn't even know this, but I set them both for 90-minute floats, and I don't know what it was. It must have been like it was like crazy timing because basically Tammie and Ron got done floating at the exact same time early.
Yeah.
And it was
pretty
like, I'm
common
like, how did you know? And they're like, we know.
I see that in couples a lot.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it's like
psychic
that
or
deep connection.
psychotic. One of the two.
Where you going, Ron?
We're a little bit of each.
Yeah. There's a lot
Yeah.
of times because of our energies, he'll have a thought. He used to do it all the time, and he would text me, "Oh, take this out for supper." I'm like, "Why? I already did." It's like he gets mad. He's like, "Will you get out of my head?"
Yeah, it's very, very difficult for us to surprise each other because we pretty much know what is going on.
Yeah.
And it's not just I don't get messages in my ears or see pictures, and this is where a lot of people get confused about getting messages, and that's part of what we're going to teach. But the message can just be something that I just know that this is what we're supposed to take out for dinner, and take it out, and she goes home and says, "I wanted that for supper." Does Reiki help injuries? Yes, it does. By your name, I can't quite tell if you're male or female, but
That's my aunt.
oh, is it?
Yeah.
Hello.
welcome.
Hello,
Roll.
Auntie.
Yes, it does help injuries. Reiki is extremely good for pain.
Mm-hmm.
It will not, if it's done enough times, it can cure pain. I've cured my allergies. I've cured my own knee. I've done those things, but I do it on a constant basis.
Yeah.
But it can get rid of pain. It works very easy on pain. Pain is easy to get rid of, but
Wow.
it's the symptom behind the pain that the person has to work on. So
Yep.
Reiki is not the end answer to pain. It can get rid of it so that you can work on it.
Yep.
But there's still something underlying that
Yeah.
has to do with the pain, and that's where we can change our lives. I recently did a 7-day fast.
Wow.
Most amazing thing that I've ever done. It was tough. It was very hard. But it changed my life because I was going down a road that I didn't want to go down. I wasn't eating properly. We don't eat junk, but just eating too much.
Yeah.
Now I'm on what they call intermittent fasting,
Nice.
and I'm losing weight little at a time. And I would suspect within a year I'll be at my goal weight. But it's those kinds of things that when you become aware that there's a problem.
Yeah.
It was like I woke up one morning and boom, I said, I'm doing a fast. I don't know where it came from.
Definitely can work on migraines. I used to get migraines
are
a lot.
hard, but it does work.
Yeah, it does work. And that migraines are also another indicator, like what Ron was talking about, is why are we getting the migraines?
Yeah.
What's going on? Is it a toxin? That's something you're eating? Is it a lifestyle? Is there something in your lifestyle that's not drinking enough water, enough good
Proper
water?
Yeah.
So there's some factors, and then I used to get severe migraines, and he used to help me a lot. And sometimes it would take a couple of treatments. Of course, I would always get him when he's far away, so I'd have to do them long distance while I'm driving. So that's a little bit more tasky. But it would definitely relieve that pressure enough so I could get home and things like that. But then later on, found out why I was getting the migraines, and then I ended up on the operating table, had surgery on my neck. I've got 14 pins and 2 rods in my neck.
Wow.
So ever since that surgery, and now I just get that typical headache. I probably wasn't drinking enough water, but the migraines are gone because of that.
Oh, nice.
But the unique thing about the Reiki is after that surgery, I mean, first of all, I had a lot of pain prior to that. And then I had the surgery, and that's all cut open. It's all muscle tissue is all gone. All cut up. So he did a lot of Reiki on me to get me through that pain, and it's amazing how quickly it actually starts to work. It starts relieving that. Sometimes the pain only comes because we're tightening up. And when we tighten up, that pain gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And then also barometric pressures throughout the day.
Yeah.
If you're getting migraines later in the day, that's your barometric pressures.
I used to get that a lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do they come right before storms?
Yeah.
Major storms.
Yeah.
That's the barometric pressures. The best way to alleviate it, drink lots of water.
Nice.
That is the answer on that one, and get some Reiki.
Yeah.
Get them vessels open, get them flowing, most definitely.
That's amazing, Scott.
Yeah, Scott, that's what it does. That's really good.
Right.
Good
Yeah.
job.
Yeah,
That's
and
beautiful.
I think it's almost like I always thought it was just a gift that certain people had. Is that kind of a true statement, or is that something that's not really?
No, everybody can
yes,
do
but
it.
no. Yeah.
Anybody can do it. It's just a matter of building your confidence and understanding what you're doing. When I started doing Reiki, did a class, did the whole thing. They showed me how to do it, and then I started doing things that were outside of Reiki, outside of what I was taught. It was just things that I just knew how to do. And people would tell me that, hey, that's not Reiki, you can't do that. And I said, well, I'm doing it because obviously I know how.
Yeah.
It came to me while I was in a Reiki session, and I did it, and it worked.
It's a
When
matter
people
of
ask me how long I've been doing Reiki, well, it depends on what lifetime you're talking about. I've been a healer for many, 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 many lifetimes, so I might have been doing Reiki for thousands of years, or some kind of energy work for thousands of years. So that's how I know. All of a sudden, I know how to do something. You know, there are tricks that I know when I get a stubborn person or a stubborn pain, that I know how to alleviate that and how to break through that. There's ways I know how to do it. Nobody ever taught me. It's just something I knew.
Yeah.
And many of us are like that. We know so much more than we're
what we
allowing
believe.
into our life. We block it ourselves because we think it's crazy. If you would have asked me 20 years ago if I could do energy work, I'd have laughed you off the street, you know, because I wasn't ready for it.
Yeah.
You know, there were things I had to go through before I found that. So can anybody do it? Yeah, anybody can do it. I'm kind of up in the air whether a person needs attunement or not for Reiki. I believe that I can, once you want to do it, you're open to it, and you can use the energy. You just need to be taught how, which way to do it, and all those other things.
Wonderful. Sim, welcome.
So I think that this would be a good time to kind of talk about just a few things, exciting things, and I want to address the event one more time. But you guys have no idea how exciting things have been here at Floatlight lately. We have added, and it's like one thing after another. I don't know. It's just an exciting time. We have 2 new product lines that are sort of revolutionary. Both are provided by our guests, and that's just how we do things. We test things, but we're always very cautious of how we implement and start new concepts and ideas here at Floatlight. So the first thing I want to talk about, which we did mention last week, was Alice's Rabbit Holes product line that she has. Alice is actually a guest. She lives in Amherst, Wisconsin. She is an herbalist, and she makes these amazing products, and one of her famous products that she actually sells all around the world is called Shazam.
Great stuff.
And it is so good, and it's amazing. And it's actually this right here. Now, if you come into Floatlight to book a float or a massage, we'll actually give you a sample of this for free that you can try during your float or your massage. And if you like it, we have it for sale. It's actually very affordable. Stop in, check it out. And she also pairs this with St. Mother's. This is just a really, really great pairing. This is just some of the products that she sells, but we have this for sale here at Floatlight. If you are a member of our Float family, you get 20% off. I mean, it's a huge, huge, huge deal. But I wanted to mention this is the newest revolutionary thing. We now offer CBD floats and CBD massages. And this is going to be huge. We have the products. We haven't even started talking about how to go about doing it, but we do offer these. So right now, we're an exclusive carrier of this product here. It's called Plur Hemp. Now, what's unique about this, because anyone can just go out and buy CBD, right? I mean, from a store. We've tested 30 to 40 different CBD brands, and there were so many qualifications that we needed. But this is actually local, made in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, by one of our guests, who's also a Float family, who's a chemist. that has lab tested and everything, but this stuff is amazing. We offer a single tincture CBD float to try the product if you'd like, and then we sell an 1,800 milligram CBD tincture. This is a full spectrum, and it's so good. You got to try it to understand. We also have a lower milligram, which is a 900 milligram CBD tincture. But for the massage, we actually have a custom blended for float light only CBD massage lotion that's quite potent and is amazing. And of course, for anybody who's interested in a CBD massage, you'll be able to see that in the booking system here shortly. Same with the float. But if anyone likes the CBD massage, we also sell, of course, the lotion, which is different than massage lotion. Just keep that in mind. You don't want to put massage lotion on your hands or anything. That's kind of greasy, but it's different from massage. So, again, members of Float Family, you all get 20% off products. Here's your opportunity to take advantage of it. And we're super excited to announce it. You're going to see more about this on our Facebook page at Floatlight and all social media networks. But just some new offerings for us, and we're excited to go into the new season. Yep. And then lastly, the big thing that we're going to be rolling out is variations to our massage service. So we've had, after lots of feedback from our guests, we've determined that it's probably good if somebody could specify exactly what they want for their massage. So now we're going to be offering a gamut of different types of massage services, from deep tissue to prenatal, but we're also going to be launching a new type of massage, which is going to be hot stone, and that will be coming here in the next few weeks. And Daniel actually just had a chance to experience that today. And Daniel, tell what you thought.
It's amazing.
It is amazing. There's nothing like it.
Yeah.
Cabrillo needs a rub, bro.
It's actually hot stone massage is wonderful, especially for someone who has fibromyalgia or something like that, or has nerve issues, touching issues. So with the stone massage, you don't get a lot of that. You just get that whole total bottle relaxation. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, and as always, friends, we got to give a shout out to our friends at BFF Kombucha. What we have on tap today is the cardamom. Or wait, is it cardamom?
Cardamom hibiscus might not last long, so get it if you'd like.
Yeah, lavender blueberry. That looks really
We have
good.
enough of that, so come on, get a growler.
And the jasmine cherry rose, and we do have one keg on standby. Come pick up your kombucha, friends. Bring your growlers. And I see guests all the time saying, "Oh, I forgot my growler." Why does this happen to people? Don't forget your growlers.
What's on the table
Float
on the way out the door?
Anybody who books with us, I think what we're going to do is we're going to add a note to our booking reminder to don't forget your growler. I don't know if it will work. Robe me. Cabrillo needs a robe, bro.
Robe me. Also, we're doing 50% off all of our hoodies, and the seasons are going to change faster than you realize. So
yeah, pick them up, man. That's a good deal.
Float Light hoodie.
For sure. I think a good way to go about ending tonight's broadcast would be for Tammie and Ron. Maybe if you got some energy you would like to send out. I mean, again, I'm not saying you have to. I know that's.
We planned on it.
I figured.
Actually, it's been going out the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, everybody's name. I always look at the names.
So anybody who joined this chat, anybody who was on there, you guys got some energy, and I could feel it being sent to me because my back was hurting, and now it's feeling better. I don't know. I think that chi ball that Tammie threw at me surrounded because I actually took it and I kind of set it down. So now I think it's like
it's all around you.
Yeah, now it's just
here. It's actually around you and Daniel.
Oh, it's bigger now. I can feel it. And you get those goosebumps, and you're like, I don't know, man. Is that just me? That just happened. It's like, I don't know what to say. It's craziness. All right.
Okay, I'm going to go hit the restroom real quick, and then we can do about 5-10 minutes of the energy. Ro, do you still have a migraine right now? Because we'll send it especially
That's
to
right,
that.
Cabrillo.
Yeah, the chronic migraines.
So if you have one right now, we'll
We'll
start
give you some
sending,
direct, yeah.
and then you can kind of concentrate on that and see if it's helping you. Okay, I'll be right back.
Too
Cool.
much kombucha.
So Daniel,
Yeah, I know how that goes.
Kombucha.
oh, I
does
was
it every
actually
time.
gonna. Okay, so Daniel, you're on camera right now, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a new scene
Yep.
where we can both be on camera together. This is gonna be like, it's gonna be like a what do you call it? A Joe Rogan set. Wait,
So Tammie,
Yes.
can you were you practicing Reiki when this new energy started coming in? Like, is that recent or has that been around
I've
since?
been doing Reiki for a while. I've done I also do crystal healing. I've done that for years. I used to practice Wiccan also, so I've been working with energies for a long, long time. But I definitely felt the shift. I mean, all of a sudden, I don't remember what we were doing that day, but then all of a sudden I looked at Ron, I'm like, okay, something just changed.
Wow.
And it was about December.
Oh, so is that recent?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's been getting stronger and stronger ever since. So, which was kind of bizarre for me because I was still coming out of recovery because I had my surgery actually was a year ago, September 20th. So to feel that shift at that time was actually quite phenomenal.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't quite getting my mojo back yet. And yet I felt that. So yeah, and so a lot of the people, if they're learning Reikis and stuff now, they're actually going to be picking that up almost immediately. So it's kind of cool.
fantastic.
Yeah, and there's my aunt right there. She's saying,
Okay.
are you ready for Reiki, bro?
Sure she is.
And do we sell hoodies online?
We will be creating an online store for all of our products very, very soon.
Yeah, just cash at me. I got you.
Don't worry, we got this.
Little extra carrying
That is going to be the
charge.
next thing, is creating the online store so people can buy merch, and we're getting there in time, very soon.
Okay,
Ready
so
for some
everybody
energy?
who's at home, if they would just close their eyes, take a couple of very slow, deep breaths, center yourself, and we are sending it to you. Everybody take a couple of deep breaths. Slowly, about 3 times. And then open your eyes.
Some of you may have felt that almost immediately, and some will feel it as time goes on.
Throughout the night?
Throughout the night. It's an ongoing energy, so it'll keep coming to you as long as you need it. Even though we've stopped, it's just going to come to you.
Mm-hmm.
You should sleep fairly good tonight. Ro, I could feel the vibrations in your head.
Yep.
And I think it would be very beneficial for you to come see us. There's other things going on there that we can't just make disappear.
And if anybody wants to find us on Facebook, the name of our Facebook page, which we keep forgetting to talk about, is Soulutions. And it's SOUL-U Shins, TIONS. So, hey, we're the only one out there that has that name.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So is there any words that you would like to
Pass on to everybody?
Yeah.
Kathy, you are definitely welcome. You yawned. That's good. That's released. You might have some high stress going on there. Keep yawning. That actually releases that. Most definitely, Ro. Yeah, beautiful. Like Ron said, that energy is going to keep coming for you. I know Scott I'm thinking I felt some stuff there from you. Were you sending back? I think you were. Yeah, so find us on Solutions, join our page. We actually hit 300 people today.
Woo!
And so it came to me unexpectedly.
Yeah.
So we're growing. And we share a lot of things on our page. We come across meditations that are unique. If we're putting on our page, definitely jump onto it because there's something there. So, plus we offer, we're going to be going on the road a little bit. We're actually going to be closing our office, but we're going to be like coming here at Float Light, and there's some other places we're going to be appearing. I think we're going to do better work kind of coming out to the people versus them trying to find us. So,
and we can always do long distance if you're having issues. Don't be afraid to get a hold of us and ask for help.
You can send us message right on the Solutions
page. We can do it just like we just did right now. All you have to do is ask, and we'll send it. Like I said, we love sending energy. I can do it sitting there watching TV. It doesn't affect what I do in my life. So it's great for us to send it and help you guys out. So it's always there. If you don't know how to get a hold of us, then you can get a hold of Jonathan, and he can get a hold of us.
Yep.
There's always a way.
Yeah, and I just want to point this out. The healing thing was unique because the whole time we're sitting here and doing all this talking, the phone never rang once.
Yeah.
We started the energy work, opened up them lines.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's funny how spirit works. It's like he may see it as, I've got a phone call, but I see it as spirit's coming through. We're here. Listen to the bells.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So everybody stay open. Love. Just love. No matter what. Don't judge. Yeah. Just love. Sometimes all you have to do is just put your hand on your heart and go, just love.
When we talk about love, we're talking about, like, one of my favorite things is to look at a bully. I used to hate bullies because I was bullied all my life. And I used to really be angry with them and like to see them get their
their little karma retributions.
But as I've been doing this, I've learned that I don't feel sorry for them, but I do have empathy for them because I know that a bully is only bullying you because they feel so bad about themselves, and the only way they can feel good is to beat up on somebody else.
Yeah.
So we don't always know what their life is like.
Yep.
They could be at home and their dad could be beating the hell out of them or teaching them how to be a bully.
Mm-hmm.
So
we don't
they've
know
got
the
to live
story.
with that. And it's just a different way of looking at things. When I say I can show love to them, that means I show them compassion.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I necessarily agree with what they're doing,
Yeah.
but I can show them compassion and understand where they're coming from.
It's loving soul to soul.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's yep, you're right, Kathy.
Yep.
Ho'oponopono, clean and clear. Yes. I'm sorry, I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. That's it.
Do you have any final words, John?
Ooh, did I make it back on time?
Yes, you did.
Oh, thank you. Final words.
Next Tuesday.
Well, geez, I don't know. What am I supposed to say? I mean, this is
Tuesday night. Just be here.
this is a lot. This is a lot of pressure on me, guys. No, I mean seriously, everybody. You know, you're the best. I love y'all. You guys are just amazing. I mean, I don't know everybody who's in the stream. I caught some of you guys, Scott, Megan, Mike. Your aunt.
Ro Cabrillo, my pop.
Scott, and
Kathy.
Kathy, you guys
Kathy.
just are amazing. That's what I have to say.
Love all.
You have any final, Daniel?
Thank you for listening and being part of our community and helping us grow, share, and just let's share this love and just shed the stress and fear.
Well said.
All right. Goodbye, friends. Bye-bye.
Good night, Kathy.
Bye-bye.